Heaven and earth have finally aligned. Days are good, and that's the way it should be.
Hi, I'm Olivia.
I'm Isata.
And we are going over the pros and cons of electric cars and how they work. Here are the pros. Electric cars cause less pollution than regular gasoline cars, such as the one behind me. This is a Nissan Maxima 2004. Electric cars do not produce dangerous chemicals such as nitrogen oxide, particulate matter, carbon monoxide, and hydrocarbons. Electric cars also have home recharging systems, so they can recharge their 230 volt charger in either their garage or on their driveway. Electric cars have high torque or axle twisting power. A torque is a rotating force. Without a torque present, a rotating object will remain rotating and a non-rotating object will not rotate. There are also public charging systems. Electric cars need 34 kilowatts per hour to go 100 miles. This will cost $2.69. On average, this will save a car driver $1,600. Electric cars are also extremely safe. The Chevrolet Volt in 2011 was given 5 out of 5 stars, and in 2014 they are giving 4 out of 5 stars in all categories. Electric vehicles are also quiet due to the lack of petroleum-powered internal combustion system. Petroleum is a mixture of hydrocarbons to create gasoline, and obviously electric cars do not have gasoline. And electric cars convert hydrogen into electric power in order to fuel the motor. As a result, only heat and water are produced. So there is no tailpipe pollution and is overall better for the environment. Electric cars are also very reliable. The reason cars normally break down is because there are so many different moving parts. However, with electric car, there is no moving parts in the engine, so there is less likelihood for it to be breaking down. Here are the top 10 electric cars from 2015 to 2016. The number 1 was a Tesla Model SP900. Second was a Honda Fit. Third was the Nissan Leaf. Fourth was the Toyota RAV4. 5 was the Mitsubishi MI. 6 was the Ford Focus. 7 was the Fiat 500. 8 was the Kia Soul. 9 was the BMW i3. 10, and lastly, the Chevrolet Spark. Now let's go on to the cons of having an electric car.
These are the cons of electric cars. Limited range. Most electric cars can go 80 to 100 miles before needing to charge, which can take hours to do. Weather. Electric cars lose 57% of their range in 20 degrees or lower temperature. Gas can only last 12 to 15%. Long refueling time. It takes up to an hour to charge an electric car to be able to travel 20 to 25 miles with a 240 volt charger. Gas cars at most take 10 minutes to refuel. Weight. Like any other cars, that is the maximum load sizes. However, it varies on the car. Now let's go into the science and physics of electric cars.
Right now we're going to the mall at the Dulles Town Center to go to the Cheesecake Factory, where there is a charging station nearby. Right now we're at the charging center for electric cars at the Dulles Mall near the Cheesecake Factory. Now we're going to go and talk about the electric car and how it works. Right now we took an average of 14 cars and we got the total cost, which was $38,557. It ranges from $2,300 to $80,000. The car closest to the average is the Chevrolet Bolt Review, which is $37,500. There are 3 main components of the electric vehicle. The first one is the controller. The controller is what creates the connection between the battery and the motor. There are 2 types, the AC and the DC. The AC creates a 240 volts, and the DC creates between a 96 or 192 volts. Then there is the photometer, which is what makes the controller safe. There are two types. There are two kinds. They're connected to the controller, and then they are also connected to the gas. So those two compare themselves, and if they are the same, then they'll add more volts. Then there is the battery, which is essentially the heart of the electric vehicle. It weighs around 1,000 pounds and is the heaviest part of the electric vehicle. It goes up to 500. It can go up to 50 miles before needing to be recharged. There are three types of batteries. The lithium battery, which is the most expensive and gives extra performance and range, which is obviously why it's the most expensive. Then there is the lead acid battery, which is the most commonly used, and it can be recycled, and it is also the cheapest. And then there's the nickel metal hydride battery. It is the second highest in price, and it has a better output performance. Then there is the motor. The electric motor converts electric energy into mechanical energy. It is the mechanical energy that makes the electric car move. So it changes potential energy into kinetic energy, essentially. The monitor has a torque, as previously mentioned in the poster, and it goes at a low speed to go faster. There is regenerative braking, which the electric circuits stop powering to the monitor, so the kinetic energy and the momentum causes the wheels to go, so the motor works as a generator. Then there is the force and power part. To drive an electric vehicle, it requires 0.2 kilowatts or kilometers. It generates 0.2 times 1.1 times 607, equaling to 130 grams of CO2 per kilometer. And an electric vehicle that requires 0.3 kilowatts per kilometer generates 200 grams of CO2 per kilometer. Now let's go on to the car in the center. This is how the engine works. There is the battery charger right there. There is the power electronics, the transfer motor right there. The charging point with the charging status display is right there. There's a DC inverter, DC inverter. The electric transmitter motor is right there. The high voltage air conditioning compressor is right there. The high voltage distribution unit and fuses is indicated right there. The 12 volt battery is right there. And the high volt harness is right there. It is the yellow orange like wire. There's the high voltage Li-ion rechargeable battery pack, as previously mentioned. There's the fuel or tank range extender. So the fuel or tank would be used in a hybrid. And then there's the range extender generator module right there. And that is electric cars. Just take a quick look at the poster. Right here is all the information you need to know on electric cars and how they work. Thank you for watching. Bye.
You make what doesn't matter fade.